The night was calm above Earth, but in the silence of space, something massive appeared without warning. At first, it looked like a bright star moving closer and closer. Then the astronomers realized it was not a star at all. It was a ship so huge that its shadow stretched across the surface of the moon. The news spread across the world in minutes. Governments panicked, people prayed, and children pointed at the glowing object in the sky. No one had ever seen something like this before. Humanity had always wondered if they were alone, but now the answer was clear. They were not alone. The leaders of the world rushed into emergency meetings. Military commanders suggested preparing weapons, but no weapon on Earth could fight something that size. Scientists were excited but nervous. Some whispered that this could be the end of the world. Others whispered it could be the beginning of something greater. As the ship settled into orbit near the moon, silence fell over the Earth. For 2 days, nothing happened. No lights, no message, no sound. Just the giant alien vessel hanging in the black sky. People stopped sleeping properly. Everyone waited for something to happen. And then, on the 3rd day, every device on Earth came alive at the same time. Phones, radios, televisions, computers, even simple speakers all buzzed with the same sound. A voice echoed in every language known to humans. It was calm, deep, and alien. People of Earth, we greet you. You have reached the moment in history where you are ready to take your place among the stars. We invite your world to join the Galactic Council. The words were clear and powerful. The voice promised peace, knowledge, and unity. It said humanity had been observed for centuries, watched carefully as it grew, fought, survived, and built civilization. Now the Council had judged humanity worthy. An invitation had been sent. The world was stunned. Some cried with joy. Some shouted in fear. Conspiracy theories spread like wildfire. Was this real? Was this a trick? Was it salvation or was it a trap? In the United Nations Hall, the world's leaders gathered. For the first time in history, every nation was represented. Cameras captured the tension on every face. A decision had to be made. The Secretary General of the UN stood up and read the message again. They're offering us a place among them. Do we accept or do we refuse? The room fell silent. A leader from Africa spoke first. If we refuse, they may see us as hostile. If we accept, we may walk into something we do not understand. A general from America slammed his hand on the table. We cannot trust them. They appear above our world without warning and demand we follow them. That is not peace, that is intimidation. A scientist from Japan adjusted his glasses and spoke softly. But think of what we could learn. If even a fraction of what they promise is true, it could change everything. Medicine, energy, technology, we could end hunger, cure diseases, and reach the stars ourselves. Around the table, the debate grew louder and louder. Some argued it was foolish to trust. Others argued it was foolish to refuse. Finally, the representative from a small island nation stood and said words that quieted the entire hall. Maybe we are afraid, but we have always been afraid of the unknown. That is what it means to be human. But it is also human to be curious, to take risks, and to dream of more. The room fell silent again. Every leader looked at one another. Slowly, one by one, heads began to nod. The vote was taken. Humanity would accept the invitation. A message was sent back into the sky, broadcast toward the alien ship. We accept your invitation. We are ready to join the Galactic Council. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the ship above the moon lit up with thousands of golden lights. A path of glowing symbols appeared in the darkness of space, pointing toward a destination unknown. Once again, the alien voice echoed across the world. Prepare your delegation. The council awaits. Excitement and fear gripped the planet. Who would be chosen? Soldiers, scientists, politicians? The best minds and strongest voices were gathered quickly. A team was formed, a group that would carry the hopes of all humanity into the stars. As the chosen ones prepared to leave, ordinary people watched the skies and wondered. Would they return with friendship or with chains? Would the Galactic Council be saviors, or would they be rulers? No one knew, but one truth became clear to every human heart. Life on Earth would never be the same again. The door to the galaxy had opened, and humanity had stepped through it. The story of mankind was no longer just about Earth. It was about the stars, about the unknown, and about the secrets waiting to be uncovered. And somewhere, deep in the silence of space, the Galactic Council was already watching and waiting. The human delegation stood inside the largest spacecraft ever built by mankind. It was not a warship, but a diplomatic vessel, polished and shining, carrying the flag of Earth painted on its hull. Inside were men and women chosen from different nations, scientists, diplomats, soldiers, and thinkers. They were nervous but determined. For days they had trained for this mission, but no training could prepare them for the reality of what awaited them. The alien ship orbiting the moon sent a beam of light that enveloped the human vessel. In an instant, the stars outside seemed to twist and shift. No one felt movement, yet suddenly Earth and the moon were gone from the windows. The crew gasped as they realized they had been transported across unimaginable distance. Outside the viewports stretched a massive station larger than any human city. It floated around a brilliant star, its surface covered with towers, glowing rings, and fleets of alien ships docking and departing like insects around a hive. The human commander whispered, "So this is the heart of the Galactic Council." The human ship was guided toward a docking platform. Strange craft surrounded them, each belonging to a different alien species. Some looked like sharp metallic arrows, others like giant floating shells, and some resembled glowing crystals spinning in the void. The humans watched in awe. As the airlock opened, they were greeted by figures unlike anything they had imagined. Towering beings with 4 arms, creatures covered in scales that shimmered in the light, and delicate forms with wings of living light. All of them stood waiting. The humans walked carefully, trying not to show fear. Cameras recorded everything, broadcasting back to Earth so billions could watch. The alien escort led them through corridors that seemed alive, walls that pulsed softly with energy as if breathing. Finally, the delegation entered a colossal chamber where hundreds of alien representatives sat, in tiers rising high into the shadows above. Every species had its place, every seat filled with strange eyes staring at the newcomers. The center of the chamber was a platform bathed in light. The humans were guided onto it. Then a voice filled the hall, not from speakers but from the minds of every listener. "Welcome, people of Earth. You now stand before the Galactic Council." The words were translated perfectly into every human ear, though no mouths moved. A being stepped forward, taller than any man, with silver skin and a crown of living fire above its head. It was the speaker of the council. "Your world has been observed. You have shown courage, creativity, and the will to survive. Today, we offer you a place among us, to share in knowledge and in peace." The humans bowed slightly. Their leader, Ambassador Harris, spoke carefully. "We are honored. Humanity seeks peace and friendship, but also truth. We hope the Council will accept us as equals." Murmurs echoed among the aliens, some approving, others doubtful. The speaker raised a hand, and silence returned. "All new members are welcomed, but they must also be tested. Trust must be earned." At this, tension filled the air. A test? No one on Earth had been told about any test. Harris remained calm, but inside his chest his heart pounded. Before he could reply, another alien stood. This one was short, covered in fur with sharp golden eyes. Its voice came out as a low growl. "Humans are dangerous. Their history is filled with war. Can they truly bring peace? Or will they spread conflict into the stars?" A wave of agreement spread through part of the chamber. Others remained silent. Harris stepped forward again. "Yes, humanity has fought wars. We have made mistakes, but we have also built, healed, and dreamed. We have created art, science, and hope. We are not perfect, but we are not only destruction. We ask for the chance to prove who we truly are." Silence followed his words. Then, as the chamber quieted, something unexpected happened. A figure from the shadows of the hall stepped closer. It was small, almost fragile, with pale skin and black eyes. Unlike the others, It did not wear the council's robes. It whispered directly to Harris, so soft no one else could hear. Do not trust what they tell you. Not everything is as it seems. Harris froze. The figure quickly vanished back into the crowd before he could ask more. His thoughts raced. Who was that creature? Why warn him? What did the council hide? The chamber silence broke as the speaker raised its fiery crown higher. Earth shall be given its chance. Prepare yourselves, for the test of worthiness begins soon. The hall erupted in voices, some supportive, some fearful. The humans were escorted out before they could ask questions. As they walked the living corridors back to their quarters, Harris kept hearing the soft warning in his mind. Do not trust them. That night, as the human delegation settled uneasily in their chambers on the alien station, Earth waited for news. Billions hoped for peace, millions feared disaster. And deep in his heart, Harris wondered if humanity had walked into something far more dangerous than an invitation. The human delegation awoke to the strange hum of the alien station. The walls of their quarters glowed softly, as if the structure itself was alive, breathing with hidden energy. None of them had slept well. The warning from a strange figure still echoed in Ambassador Harris's mind. Do not trust what they tell you. He tried to push the thought away, but the doubt refused to leave. Soon, the delegation was summoned to another great chamber. Unlike the vast council hall filled with hundreds of alien races, this room was smaller, more private, reserved for official instruction. A circular table floated in midair, surrounded by seats shaped to fit each species. As the humans took their places, a tall alien with translucent skin and glowing veins introduced itself as Arion, keeper of protocols. Its voice was calm, almost soothing. Members of Earth, today you will learn the laws of the Council. These rules guide all who join us. Break them, and consequences will follow. For hours Arion spoke. The Council's laws were strict. Planets were forbidden from developing weapons beyond a certain level. Travel outside assigned sectors required permission. All discoveries of energy, medicine, or advanced science had to be shared with the Council first. To the humans, it sounded less like freedom and more like control. Harris listened carefully, asking questions, but the answers were always the same. For peace, for order, for harmony. Still, something felt wrong. Behind the polished words, there was weight like invisible chains. During a short recess, Harris stepped aside, trying to clear his head. That was when the same mysterious figure appeared again, slipping through a hidden doorway. Its black eyes stared into his. You see now, the Council does not protect. It controls. They are not guardians of peace. They are rulers of fear. Harris whispered back. Why are you telling me this? Who are you? The figure looked around nervously. My people resisted them long ago. We were broken, scattered. Now I remain in shadows, but I will not watch another world fall. Listen carefully. Planets that refused the Council vanished. Whole civilizations erased from memory. If you submit fully, Earth will live as a slave. If you resist, they may destroy you. Before Harris could reply, the figure vanished again into the shifting walls, leaving only silence. When Harris returned to the table, his face remained calm, but inside his thoughts churned. Could it be true? Did the Council truly destroy entire civilizations? He decided not to share the warning with everyone yet. Panic would help no one. Later, the delegation was guided through what the Council called the Hall of Records, an endless library of light and memory where knowledge of thousands of species was stored. Arion proudly explained, "Here is the wisdom of the galaxy. When you become full members, you may request access." Harris asked, "Do we have full access now?" The alien paused too long before answering. "In time, when trust is earned." Again that word, trust. Again that feeling of hidden locks and invisible chains. Dr. Singh, the lead scientist in the team, leaned close to Harris and whispered, "They are restricting us. Look at the way data flows past, but never lets us see details. They are hiding something." Harris nodded slowly. That night, back in their quarters, the humans debated. Some, like Dr. Singh, believed the Council was keeping secrets. Others argued that maybe these rules truly kept peace. Commander Alvarez, the military representative, slammed his fist on the table. I don't like this. Too many rules. Too many secrets. And that so-called test they mentioned, it smells like a trap. Harris listened quietly before speaking. I met someone, not a council member. They warned me. They said the council has destroyed worlds before. I don't know if it's true, but we must be ready for anything. The room fell into stunned silence. Fear flickered in every eye. Yet no one suggested abandoning the mission. They knew Earth had already stepped onto this path. There was no turning back. The next morning, the delegation was summoned once more. This time, they entered a chamber unlike the others. It was dark, filled with strange symbols glowing on the walls. The Speaker of the Council stood waiting, its crown of fire blazing brighter than before. People of Earth, it declared, your training is complete. Now comes the trial of worthiness. You will face a test, as all new members must. Succeed, and you will earn your place among us. Fail, and your world will be judged unready. Harris bowed slightly, hiding his unease. And what is this test? The Speaker's fiery eyes glowed hotter. You will soon discover. The words echoed in the silence, heavy and final. As the humans were escorted away, whispers spread among the alien guards. Harris caught a few fragments. Words like impossible, dangerous, and many have fallen. His heart grew cold. The warning was real. The council was not offering a gift. They were preparing a trial designed to break them. In the quiet of their quarters, Harris looked at his team. We wanted the stars, he said. Now we must prove we belong here. But I fear this test is not about peace. It's about control. And if we fail, Earth may pay the price. The humans sat in silence, each of them feeling the weight of the galaxy pressing down on their shoulders. The truth was clearer now. The Galactic Council was not what it seemed. But the real question remained. Were they strong enough to survive what was coming next? The humans were led through endless corridors of the alien station until they reached a gate made of black metal that pulsed with faint red light. The guards stopped them at the entrance, and the Speaker of the Council appeared once more, its crown of fire glowing brighter than ever. Its voice thundered across the chamber. People of Earth, you now face the trial of worthiness. This is the path all must walk before joining us. Only those who endure may sit among the stars. Harris tried to remain calm. What is this trial? What do we face? The Speaker's fiery eyes burned into him. You will be placed in a simulation of war. You must fight enemies beyond your strength. You must prove that you are not only brave, but clever, that you can survive when survival seems impossible. The words chilled every human in the delegation. A test of war? Humanity had not come to show weapons, but to seek peace. Yet they had no choice. The gate opened, and a wave of blinding white light swallowed them. When their eyes cleared, they were no longer on the station. They stood on a barren battlefield under a black sky filled with storms of lightning. Around them lay broken metal ruins and burning ground. Strange machines floated in the air, scanning them like predators. The humans realized they were inside a vast simulation, but the pain and heat felt real. A voice echoed in the sky. Survive. That is your trial. Without warning, the machines attacked. Blades of energy slashed the ground. Explosions roared. The human soldiers raised their weapons and fired, but their weapons were weak compared to the alien machines. Commander Alvarez barked orders, guiding the team into cover. Dr. Singh quickly analyzed the battlefield, shouting, "This is not just a test of strength. Look at the machines, they follow patterns. We must outthink them." Harris nodded. Use creativity. Use unpredictability. That's what makes us human. The humans began fighting back, not with brute force, but with cunning. They set traps using the burning wreckage around them. They tricked the machines into firing at each other. They worked as a unit, covering each other, never giving up even as the odds grew worse. Hours passed inside the simulation, though it felt like days. Every time they thought they were finished, more machines appeared, faster and stronger. Exhaustion gnawed at them. Fear burned in their chests, but still they refused to fall. Then Alvarez spotted something high above, a control tower glowing with strange energy. "That's it," he shouted. "They're not testing our strength. They're testing if we can find the weakness." With the last of their energy, the humans launched a desperate plan. While the soldiers drew the machines into a chaotic chase, the scientists hacked into the ground panels, redirecting energy flows. Harris and Alvarez led a final charge toward the tower. Explosions ripped the battlefield. Lightning tore the sky, but they kept moving. At the last moment, Harris threw an improvised explosive made from wreckage into the core of the tower. A flash of light erupted, and the machines froze, then collapsed one by one. Silence fell across the battlefield. The humans stood panting, bruised, and weary. They had survived. The sky shimmered, and the battlefield dissolved into light. Suddenly, they were back in the council chamber, the alien representatives watching them from every seat. Murmurs filled the hall. Shock, disbelief, even fear. The speaker's fiery crown flickered uncertainly as it spoke. "Impossible. No world has ever succeeded so quickly. You should not have one." Harris stepped forward, his voice steady though his body ached. "You tested us, and we endured. You tried to break us, and we adapted. That is humanity. We are not the strongest, but we are the most unpredictable. That is why we survived." The chamber fell into silence. Some alien races nodded in respect. Others whispered angrily, their eyes filled with suspicion. Harris noticed the speaker's gaze darken, as though humanity's victory was not a triumph but a threat. In the crowd, the mysterious figure with black eyes appeared once more, watching silently. This time Harris understood the meaning of the earlier warning. The council had not expected them to pass. The trial was never meant to test worthiness. It was meant to crush them, to force them into obedience or erase them. By surviving, humanity had done something dangerous. They had proven that they could not be controlled so easily. The delegation returned to their quarters that night, exhausted but alive. Yet the victory felt heavy. Commander Alvarez muttered, "We just painted a target on Earth." Dr. Singh whispered, "If they fear us, what will they do next?" Harris looked out the glowing window into the endless stars. "They wanted to see if we could survive the impossible. Now they know we can. And that may be the most dangerous truth of all. The humans had won the test, but their victory did not bring celebration. Instead, the atmosphere of the council chamber changed. Whispers filled the air, eyes followed them wherever they walked, and the once polite smiles of many alien representatives now seemed forced and cold. The humans could feel it. They had passed a challenge that was never meant to be passed, and in doing so they had made both friends and enemies. The next day, Ambassador Harris was invited to a private gathering of select species. The chamber was dim and smaller than the Grand Hall, filled with figures who chose to hide their faces under soft, glowing hoods. A tall being with crystalline skin spoke first. "You have done something extraordinary. Many new races have entered the trial, but few survived. None have won as quickly as you. For that, some here respect you." Another voice, harsh and deep, interrupted. "And others fear you. The council believes they can control every world. You have proven otherwise. That makes you dangerous." Harris stood still, choosing his words carefully. "We did not come here to be feared. We came for friendship, for knowledge, for peace. We passed your trial because we had no other choice." The crystal being nodded. "Some of us believe you. Others never will. But listen carefully, human. You will need allies. Not all in the council are loyal to the speaker. Many of us wish for freedom, but we are bound by fear. Your victory has lit a spark. Some will now look to you." Harris felt the weight of the words. Allies? That meant hope, but it also meant responsibility. Yet before he could answer, the meeting was cut short. Guards entered and ordered the humans to return to their quarters. Later that night, as the delegation rested, Commander Alvarez noticed something strange. A message appeared on the wall screen, flickering in broken symbols before forming words in English. "They are planning against you. Be ready." The message vanished before anyone could trace it. Dr. Singh muttered, "We have supporters in the shadows, but also enemies in power. That makes our position even more dangerous." The following day, the speakers summoned the humans before the full council again. This time the tone was sharp, not welcoming. "People of Earth," the speaker declared, "you have proven strong, but strength alone is not enough. Many among us believe your kind is unstable, filled with aggression. Your wars have scarred your own world countless times. How can we trust you will not bring the same chaos into the galaxy?" Dozens of alien voices rose in agreement. Harris stepped forward. "Yes, we have known war. Yes, we have made mistakes. But we have also known compassion, creativity, and resilience. We are more than our past. You see only the darkness in us, but it is our light that brought us here." The chamber stirred. Some aliens looked moved. Others hissed in anger. A scaled creature with burning red eyes pointed its claw at Harris. "Lies. Humanity is dangerous. They survive the trial by trickery, by deceit. If they join us, they will bring destruction. I demand they be denied entry." The speaker's fiery crown burned brighter, as if enjoying the conflict. "The council will decide. A vote shall be taken." Harris knew the outcome could decide Earth's future. As the voting process began, something unexpected happened. A group of alien representatives stood in open support of the humans. The crystalline being from the secret meeting raised its hand. "I cast my voice for Earth. They bring change, and change is needed." Soon others followed. A winged species of light, a water-dwelling race that floated in orbs of liquid, and several others. Their support shocked the chamber. But equally strong was the opposition. The scaled creature, joined by many others, declared humanity a threat. The chamber grew divided, nearly split in half. Finally, the speaker raised a hand, silencing all. "The decision will be delayed. Until then, Earth shall remain under observation. Their actions will decide if they are allies of peace or enemies of order." With that, the session ended. As the humans returned to their quarters, the mysterious figure with black eyes appeared once more in the shadows. "Now you see, you have friends, yes, but also enemies. The Council fears what it cannot control. Already, some whisper of striking at Earth before it grows too strong." Harris's stomach sank. "Are you saying they would attack us?" The figure nodded slowly. "They have done it before. Entire worlds erased. Do not let Earth be next. Choose your allies wisely." The figure vanished again, leaving the humans with heavy thoughts. That night, Harris gathered his team. "We are no longer just guests. We are pieces on a board, and the Council is the player. Some want us crushed, others want us free. We must play carefully. One wrong move, and Earth could pay the price." Commander Alvarez leaned forward. "Then maybe we stop playing by their rules," Dr. Singh whispered, "or maybe we learn the rules better than they do." Harris looked out the window at the endless stars. "Whatever path we choose, one thing is certain. We cannot stand alone. If Earth is to survive, we must find true allies in this galaxy. And we must find them before our enemies strike first." The humans felt the pressure of every eye on them wherever they walked in the Council station. Some aliens greeted them with cautious respect, while others turned away as if even speaking to a human was dangerous. The delegation knew that allies and enemies now surrounded them, hidden and open alike. But the warning from the black-eyed figure haunted Harris more than anything else. If the Council had destroyed entire worlds before, then Earth might be in grave danger. Proof was needed. Without it, they would be dismissed as paranoid. With it, they might expose the truth. The chance came unexpectedly. Late one night, a signal reached the humans' quarters. The screen lit up with strange alien symbols that quickly translated into English. "Follow the path. Truth awaits." Before they could react, the walls of their quarters shifted and a hidden doorway opened. Dr. Singh's eyes widened. "This station is alive. It's creating paths for us." Commander Alvarez gripped his weapon. "Or leading us into a trap." Harris hesitated only a moment. "If we want answers, we take the risk." They stepped through the glowing corridor, following lights that appeared one by one as if guiding them. The path twisted deep into the station, far from the areas they had been allowed to see. Finally, the corridor opened into a vast chamber filled with floating crystals and streams of light. Information poured through the air like rivers of glowing memory. It was a library unlike anything they had ever seen. the true archive of the Galactic Council. Dr. Singh gasped. This is no public record. These are restricted files. As they touched the nearest crystal, images exploded into their minds. They saw planets lush with life, species celebrating freedom, then suddenly fire and ruin. Armies of Council ships raining destruction from orbit. Entire world erased, names wiped clean from every record. Harris staggered back, his voice shaking. It's true. They called it peace, but it was conquest. Any race that resisted was destroyed. Alvarez clenched his fists. So this is their harmony. Obey or burn. They moved deeper into the archive, each crystal revealing darker truths. The Council had rewritten history, hiding their crimes behind polished words. Dozens of civilizations had been erased, their survivors scattered, their memory forbidden. And among the erased names, one image stopped Harris cold. The black-eyed figure. Its people had once thrived, proud and free, until they refused the Council's demands. Now they were nothing but shadows, hunted remnants. Dr. Singh whispered, "This explains why they hide. They are survivors of extinction." Suddenly the chamber shook with alarms. Red light flashed, and an alien voice thundered through the walls. Unauthorized access detected. Intruders in restricted archive. Guards were coming. The humans scrambled to gather what evidence they could. Dr. Singh activated her scanner, capturing fragments of the archive into her device. Harris urged her, "Take as much as you can. We may not get another chance." The corridor behind them lit up with the sound of approaching boots and alien weapons. Commander Alvarez raised his rifle. "Go. I'll cover us." But Harris shook his head. "We go together. No one gets left behind." They sprinted through the shifting corridors, alarms echoing like drums of doom. The station itself seemed to turn against them, walls closing, doors sealing. But just as they were about to be trapped, a hidden panel slid open, revealing the black-eyed figure. "This way," it hissed. They had no choice but to follow. The figure guided them through hidden tunnels until at last they reached the safety of their quarters. The alarms slowly faded. Harris collapsed into a chair, breathing heavily. "Why help us? Why show us this?" The figure's black eyes gleamed with sorrow. "Because you must know the truth. The Council is not a council. It is an empire. They fear what they cannot control, and when they fear, they destroy. Now they fear you." Harris felt the weight of those words press into his bones. The evidence they carried was proof of the Council's crimes, but it was also a death sentence if discovered. Dr. Singh secured the stolen data into a hidden compartment. "This is enough to reveal everything. If the galaxy saw this, the Council would fall." The figure nodded. "Yes, but speak too soon, and they will silence you before your voice is heard. You must be careful. You must choose the right moment." Commander Alvarez stared out at the endless stars beyond the window. "And if we wait too long, they'll strike Earth before we're ready." Harris stood slowly, his face pale, but his eyes burning with resolve. "We came here to represent Earth, to seek peace. But now we know the truth. The Council offers no peace, only chains. We cannot bow to them. Not now, not ever." Silence filled the room. Each human understood the risk. If they revealed the truth, they would spark rebellion across the galaxy. If they stayed silent, Earth might be enslaved or destroyed. The decision was heavy, but there was no turning back. Harris looked at his team, then at the black-eyed figure who had risked everything to help them. "We have proof of their crimes. We have allies who believe in us. Now we must prepare for what comes next, because the Council will not let this go unpunished." The humans now carried the greatest secret in the galaxy. Hidden inside Dr. Singh's device was proof that the Galactic Council was not a council of peace, but an empire of fear that had destroyed entire civilizations. Every moment they kept the secret, they risked discovery. Every moment they revealed nothing, Earth moved closer to danger. Ambassador Harris knew time was running short. The Council had begun watching them more closely. Guards stood outside their quarters day and night. Meetings were filled with harsh questions, and whispers of suspicion spread among the alien delegates. It was only a matter of time before someone accused them of treachery. One evening, while the humans debated in hushed voices, the black-eyed figure appeared again through a hidden door. "You cannot remain still," it said. "The council will act soon. They fear your victory in the trial, and now they suspect you know too much. If you wait, Earth will be the next world they burn." Harris clenched his fists. "So what do we do? We cannot fight the entire council alone." The figure's black eyes glowed faintly. "You are not alone. Already whispers of rebellion grow. Many species are tired of the council's chains. Your defiance gives them hope. If you stand, they may stand with you. But you must strike the spark." Commander Alvarez leaned forward. "Then we need to gather them. Not in the open, but secretly. We need to find those willing to resist." The figure nodded. "There's a place, an old chamber, forgotten by the speaker, used long ago by rebels. I can take you there. Others will come if they believe you are ready." Days later, under the cover of the station's endless corridors, Harris and his team followed the figure into the hidden chamber. It was a vast hollow room carved deep within the station, filled with shadows and broken relics. One by one, alien representatives slipped inside, their faces hidden, their voices low. There were crystalline beings, winged creatures of light, aquatic forms inside floating spheres, and others who had lost faith in the council's rule. Harris stood before them and spoke. "We have seen the truth. The council claims peace, but we have found proof of destruction. They erase those who resist. They seek to enslave, not unite. We humans will not bow, but we cannot stand alone. If you too believe in freedom, then stand with us." The chamber buzzed with tension. Some aliens nodded, their eyes filled with hope. Others hesitated in fear. Finally, the crystalline being spoke. "You are bold, human. Boldness inspires, but it also destroys. If you resist, the council will unleash its full power. Do you understand what you are asking of us?" Harris's voice was steady. "I understand. But ask yourselves this. How long before they come for you as well? Today, they fear humanity. Tomorrow, they may fear you. Alone, we are weak. Together, we are strong." Silence stretched for a long moment. Then one by one, voices rose in agreement. A small alliance began to form. Not yet an army, but the beginning of one. The spark of rebellion. The humans knew they had crossed a line. There was no turning back. That very night, the speaker summoned them unexpectedly before the full council. Its fiery crown blazed brighter than ever, and its voice echoed like thunder. "People of Earth, rumors spread that you plot in secret. Speak now. Are you loyal to this council, or do you dare defy it?" Every eye in the chamber turned toward Harris. He felt the weight of billions of lives, the hopes of his people, and the risk of revealing too much too soon. Slowly, he stepped forward. "We came here in good faith, seeking peace. But we have seen how peace is enforced. We will not be slaves. We will not be silent." Gasps echoed through the chamber. Some aliens shouted in approval, others in rage. The speaker's fiery crown flared like a star. "Then hear this, Earth. If you resist the council, your world will burn. Your oceans will boil, your cities will crumble, and your name will vanish as so many before you. Submit or perish." The words rang like a death sentence. Yet Harris did not bow. He lifted his head and spoke with steady defiance. "We have survived against impossible odds before. We will survive again, and we will not stand alone." The chamber erupted in chaos. Supporters shouted their agreement. Enemies called for immediate punishment, and guards rushed to contain the uproar. The humans were dragged back to their quarters under heavy guard, but even then, they could feel the change. The spark had been lit. Across the galaxy, whispers would spread. The humans had defied the speaker openly. Some would fear them, some would hate them, but some would rise with them. That night, as the humans planned in secret with their allies, Harris stared into the stars beyond the window. He knew war was coming. He knew Earth would pay a heavy price. But for the first time, he also knew the truth. Humanity was not just fighting for survival. They were fighting for freedom, not just for themselves, but for every world crushed under the Council's chains. And freedom, once sparked, could never be silenced. The humans could feel the weight of destiny pressing down on them. The spark had been lit in the chamber, and now there was no turning back. Across the station, whispers of rebellion spread like fire in dry grass. Species that had lived in silence for centuries now spoke in secret, their eyes turning toward Earth with cautious hope. But the Galactic Council was moving faster. The speakers summoned fleets, calling them to the central station. Armies of massive ships began to gather outside, their weapons glowing with deadly power. It was clear the Council had chosen war. Ambassador Harris stood with his team in their quarters, the stolen archive resting in Dr. Singh's hands. That archive was their weapon, proof of every crime, every world destroyed. If they could release it across the galactic network, every civilization would see the truth. But the Council would try to silence them before that moment arrived. "We can't outrun their fleet," Commander Alvarez said grimly, checking his rifle. "If they strike Earth, we lose everything." Harris looked at him, determination in his eyes. "Then we don't run. We stand. We show the galaxy who they really are." The black-eyed figure appeared once more, its face shadowed with sorrow. "The speaker will strike during the assembly. They will accuse you of treason before every world, then erase you to set an example. But if you reveal the archive in that moment, the galaxy will see the truth before the Council can silence you." Dr. Singh's hands trembled as she held the device. "Once we release this, there's no going back. It's war." Harris placed a steady hand on hers. "It's already war. The only question is whether we fight with words or chains." The day of the assembly came. The chamber was filled with more representatives than ever before, millions watching across the galaxy through streams of light and sound. The speaker rose high upon the throne, its fiery crown burning brighter than a sun. "People of the galaxy," it thundered, "the humans have defied order. They spread lies, they plot rebellion. Today they will answer for their crimes." Harris stood slowly, feeling the eyes of countless species upon him. His voice did not tremble. "No, today you will answer for yours." At his signal, Dr. Singh activated the archive. Light exploded in the chamber, and images filled the air. Images of planets burned, civilizations erased, fleets of Council ships destroying all who resisted. Gasps and cries of horror rippled through the delegates. The lies of centuries shattered in an instant. The speaker roared with fury, its flames reaching to the ceiling. Lies, forged lies from primitives. But more crystals appeared, undeniable proof, entire histories the Council had buried. Delegates began to shout, some against the Council, others in fear. The chamber was chaos. "They can't silence us now," Dr. Singh shouted. But suddenly the station shook. Council guards stormed in, weapons raised. Outside the windows, fleets began to fire, massive ships turning their guns on one another. The spark had become a storm. Alvarez pulled the humans into cover, returning fire. Beams of light seared across the chamber as rebels within the assembly rose to fight beside them. The speaker itself descended in a wave of fire, its voice shaking the walls. "You dare defy me? You dare break the order of the stars? Then burn with your world." Harris stood firm even as the heat pressed against his skin. "You are not the order. You are the fear. And today, fear dies." At that moment, the black-eyed figure leapt between the speaker and the humans. Its body glowed with strange energy, ancient and powerful. "We are the forgotten, the erased," it cried. "But today, we are remembered." With a scream, it unleashed a blast of light that struck the speaker, forcing it back in rage. The chamber erupted into full battle. Delegates fled, rebels fought guards, and fleets outside tore into each other with endless fire. Harris and his team ran toward the control spire of the station, fighting every step, determined to keep the archive alive. Dr. Singh connected her device to the central core, streaming the truth across every channel in the galaxy. Entire worlds received the message, their skies filled with images of the Council's crimes. One by one, voices rose in rebellion. The speaker, weakened but not destroyed, roared across the chamber. This galaxy will fall into chaos without us. We are the only order that exists. Harris faced it one last time. Then let there be chaos. Better chaos than slavery. With the help of their allies, they forced the speaker back into the fire from which it came. The chamber collapsed, the station torn apart by war, but the truth had already spread. Humanity returned to their ship, battered but alive, carrying both wounds and hope. For the first time, Earth was no longer alone. Across the stars, oppressed species prepared to rise. The Council's empire was broken, and though battles still waited ahead, the galaxy had changed forever. As Harris looked out into the endless dark, he whispered to himself, "We came here seeking peace. Instead, we found war. But is a war worth fighting? For Earth, for freedom, for every world that dares to dream." The stars shone back, vast and infinite, as if the galaxy itself had been waiting for humanity to take its place among them, not as subjects, but as leaders of a new dawn.